Greetings, this is Off to Battle with Jeremiah Bork, and this is a large battle that I fought against Wizag, who was in the process of besieging a large settlement of mine that I had taken in the late stages of the campaign. And it just so happened that this force was coming in as reinforcements from the garrison within 6 seconds of starting the battle. So, what did I do? Naturally, I got a large ambush in the works. I have noticed that one of these units, two of these units, isn't really enough to turn much for tides. Now, 3, plus a Tomb Scorpion, plus quickly bringing up a couple of Chemian War Sphinxes, and the Tomb Prince, now you're starting to get serious. So as soon as you can get one staying out of the fray, it's obstructed now, but any pot shots that can be taken, they're very helpful. And here is just too much. I had been told that the Tomb Scorpion animations are quite simple. They are squishy as large constructs go, but well, they've changed the flavor a little bit since 2. The building can only be made in a major settlement. It only gives you the right to one Tomb Scorpion unless you have Necrotechs enhancing that. But it's also not that expensive a building. And because you build it at tier 3, you can build it a lot sooner than a lot of other things. So, yeah. They've been besieging this place for a while, and the only thing I could do was get a couple of armies within striking distance after the garrison had fallen. And then what they did was they re-sieged it. Oh, that's right, that wasn't the garrison that came in, that was a war army. A war army for this initial force. That's what it was. Because they were re-besieging the settlement to get a peaceable surrender after sacking them the one time. Something along those lines. Anyway, secondary army here. I'll fast forward because there's a bit of positioning play going on here. And I did use some army abilities to soften up those packed force. But yeah, trying to have some control over this mass was an interesting adventure. So you see that these stalker units were able to do some firing on these forces. And then they finally start charging in. That's not going to go well for them. Oh, that's right. Those are the shop team. I had them in front because I wanted them to be able to take, well, stuff like that down a few notches. But I have the Stalkers here as a backup, and now I have a fourth one helping out, so. They are regretting their life choices. So yeah, one or two of those units isn't going to change around the battlefield. 4 of those units in an ambush position on cavalry, and oh boy. And you see more Savage Rock Biggins. Boar Riders. Do I say it? Do I say it? Yes, they're coming in like pigs to the slaughter! I can't resist sometimes. This is also a recording that I've made very late in the process of catching up on a huge amount of recordings. So my jokes are going to get worse. That's just a fact of life. That's fairly good, and I'm trying to use the natural terrain to get some advantage and have the Bone Giant here helping and just walling off this avenue of access to my forces. And here we have a Night Goblin War Boss, and I'm trying to use Necropolis Knights and a Necrosphinx fairly productively. Because I think that's cavalry. Now this is not what I want in principle. I don't want them fighting like this too much, but on the other hand, a War Sphinx helping and softening them up further, and I have another one that's an actual Tomb King on a mount. That's not bad. And here we have Wizeg coming to annoy us. And here's where we have just a lot of stuff here. I eventually pop a Pit of Shades on this area, I think. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. And I wish that we didn't have the music die on so much in this game, but yeah, sometimes it just happens. So here we do have this blob, but it's getting more under control as the fight goes on. Spiky rollers can be quite dangerous in the game. Sepulchral stalkers are not that good. Well, that's right, that's the purple sun, so it actually turks some of my own skeleton spear. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. You cannot choose where you're going to have some of your bigger battles. And here we have the War Sphinx just charging the back of these units, and they're packed so much that charge did a lot of damage. And being charged in the other direction. But it's been trampled. And here we have an Necropolis Knights unit that has gone too far, I think, trying to whittle down Wuzeg. But in spite of the situation here, I mean, we are losing that one with the skeleton spear, and we're getting a little bit of that. They're still sealed off. We did not take down the Goblin Warboss. That Necrosphinx is not getting its value trying to just hit on the edges of a low value unit. Oh well. I'm trying to get the knights out to do something else useful. Yeah, this War Sphinx is getting pretty low. I mean, war bosses are not exactly bad in melee. We finally have the Necro Sphinx working on Wizard. We've finally broken down this pocket. Having some extra action over here on this end. Dealing with the Orc War Charts. And the Necropolis Knights with Halberds, that's a good matchup for them. Although only if they can actually fight it. And River Trolls, it's also a good matchup in principle. But they have a lot of area debuff stuff. Tomb Scorpion not doing well at all here. Just because of the nature of the target. Like I said, these can be very good in one-on-one melee. But Wuzeg is very close to expiring. Necrosphinx wearing him down. The Necrosphinx has lost track of his intended target. Oh, that's not good. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Nope. But that's pretty close. Ah, he shattered. And we're seeing shattering across the board. After that, it's just trying to get him down as close as possible or take him out completely. And I had a follow-up battle. So I'm going to show that because I was finishing off his army and he did have some serious artillery I had to worry about with a rather damaged force. But I needed him taking it. The strategic situation demanded it, and I had to resolve to dealing with certain sacrifices. But I also Wuzag seems to have died within the first second of the battle. I'm not sure how that happened, but you know, whatever. Succumbed to wounds. I'm not gonna worry about it. So let's see if this Vanguard deployment actually gets me somewhere. Those are definitely some savage-looking orcs. I used an army ability just because of her rights. Now, I really wanted to use my constructs to good effect. I couldn't exactly use them for the long haul here, because look at what's charging into them. So I tried to pull them out, but it wasn't entirely successful. I mean, Doomdagger catapults, they are nasties. I knew I was going to have some problems. On the other hand, the Stalkers are doing a good job of screening this retreat as well as possible. Like I said, some sacrifices had to be made. But yeah, 2 Sphinxes with pretty decent health left. These guys were not going to survive. I mean, yes, they're low health here, but they're also good anti-large combatants. So I was committed to, you know, if I had to sacrifice them, I had to sacrifice them. But yeah, that artillery is doing a good job of making us pay a price. But on the other hand, they don't really have a great solution for the war spaces. And at that point, it actually chewed up through all the units that had, some kind of decency to them. And having the Tomb Scorpion go on a wild flank. Because, if the Tomb Scorpion was directly in the line of fire, probably would not have survived. Having said that, they're not exactly equipped to fight a Tomb Scorpion, right? And that's how that strategic situation came to its end. Nice and bloodied. So there you have it. Until we're off to battle again, take care, have fun, hope you enjoy this.